Have you ever noticed something strange? No matter where you go, whether it's work, friendships, or relationships, you somehow end up surrounded by toxic people. People who manipulate you, people who drain your energy, people who take, but never give. And the worst part? You start asking yourself a painful question. Why does this always happen to me? But here's something surprising. Toxic people don't randomly choose their targets. They look for specific patterns in someone's behavior. And without realizing it, you might be making one mistake that makes you the perfect target. Today, we're going to uncover that mistake. And once you see it, you'll never look at toxic relationships the same way again. Many people believe toxic individuals just appear by accident. But in reality, toxic people are extremely observant. They scan for signals, not obvious signals, but subtle ones. Signals like someone who avoids conflict, someone who apologizes too quickly, someone who tries too hard to keep everyone happy. At first glance, these might seem like good qualities: kindness, empathy, patience. But to a toxic person, these qualities look like opportunity, because toxic people survive through control, and they instinctively move toward people who won't resist that control, which brings us to the biggest mistake many people make. One of the most common patterns toxic people look for is this: someone who over-explains themselves. Imagine this scenario. Someone treats you unfairly. Instead of simply saying, "That's not okay," you start explaining, you justify your feelings, you try to make them understand, you try to keep the peace. But toxic people don't interpret this as kindness. They interpret it as weak boundaries, and once they sense weak boundaries, they start pushing further, little by little. At first, it's small things: interrupting you, ignoring your opinions, disrespecting your time. Then slowly, it becomes manipulation, gaslighting, emotional control, and by the time you realize it, you're already trapped in a toxic dynamic. Here's the painful truth most people don't talk about. Toxic people are often attracted to good people, not because they admire them, but because good people tend to give too much. They listen more, they forgive faster, they try harder to fix problems, and toxic individuals know something very important. Good people often struggle with saying no. So instead of respecting kindness, they exploit it. This is why some of the most empathetic individuals find themselves repeatedly dealing with toxic personalities. It's not because they're weak, it's because they care deeply. But without boundaries, care becomes a vulnerability. There's another psychological trap many people fall into. It's called the fixer mindset, the belief that if you just try harder, you can change someone, you can heal them, you can make them better. So when a toxic person behaves badly, you don't walk away. You try to understand them, you try to help them, you try to be patient. But here's the reality. Toxic people don't change because someone loves them enough. They change only when they face consequences. And if there are no consequences, there's no reason for them to change, which means the more you tolerate toxic behavior, the more you teach them that it's acceptable. There is one thing toxic people fear more than anything else: not anger, not arguments, but clear boundaries. A simple sentence like, "I'm not okay with that," or "That behavior doesn't work for me." And the most powerful one: "No. That behavior doesn't work for me." And the most powerful one: "No." No explanation, no justification, just clarity. Because when toxic people realize they cannot control you, they usually leave. And that's the moment something interesting happens. Your life becomes quieter, calmer, and suddenly, you start attracting a completely different type of person. So if you've ever wondered why toxic people seem drawn to you, remember this: it's not because there's something wrong with you. In fact, it might be because you're kind, empathetic, and understanding. But kindness without boundaries becomes an invitation. The moment you learn to protect your energy, everything changes. And toxic people, they stop seeing you as a target, because the one thing they search for is the one thing you finally stopped giving: access.